24 hours removed after forcing myself to stomach WWE's Stupid Showdown, yes, that's what I'm calling it, from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Once again, Vince's inaptitude to use the older guard, stupid, self-indulgent idiocy in using the older guard, the part-timers, to make what's essentially blood money, has once again gotten my skin boiled and got me riled up. Now, granted, I'm not as riled up as I was with how Crown Jewel 2018 ended and played out, but I am still pissed off. What am I pissed about? Rollins and Murphy retained the Raw tag titles, didn't really have much of a problem with it. Miz and Morrison taking the SmackDown tag titles from New Day, no problem with that. Didn't have much of a problem with that. Roman putting down Corbin in the cage, no problem with that, though I wish they didn't. Though I wish they ended the feud when Corbin got smothered in dog food shortly after the Royal Rumble. On the SmackDown after the Royal Rumble. That's when this feud should have ended. Instead of dragging it out. Brock Lesnar crushing Ricochet within a minute and a half. Didn't have a problem with that. I actually was one of many who expected that to happen. Who expected that to happen. The match set up for Undertaker versus the Gauntlet, ending with The Undertaker winning, which sets up Undertaker versus Styles at WrestleMania 36. Little miffed, but not too badly. No. My beef is with the main event. As once again, Vince McMahon shows his incompetence and his paranoia when it comes to trusting full-time talent into becoming big-time stars. Excuse me. With the exceptions, especially in the 2010s. Going into the 2020s. If not the 2000s on a whole. With the exception of guys like John Cena, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Vince has no faith in full-time talent. And it showed again when he had one of the hottest commodities, one of WWE's lone bright spots at the end of the decade, in The Fiend, gets squashed by Goldberg within 2 to 3 minutes. And lose the Universal title to a 53-year-old. And again, we're going with worst case scenario. And once again, he chooses the worst option possible for a main event at WrestleMania. With that title. Now, was I one of the few who complained when Brock beat Goldberg for the Universal title at WrestleMania 33? After Goldberg beat Kevin Owens for it at Fastlane in 2017. Honestly, no, I was not. At least not initially. At least initially, no, I wasn't. But boy, the longer Brock held that title hostage, the more I realized Vince made a we realized Vince made a mistake putting that belt on Brock. And it took him over 17 months to rectify that mistake. 17 months. And even then, Roman had to drop vacate the title due to his leukemia diagnosis. And once again, an opportunity to put it on Strowman, but no, he decides to put it back on the part-timer, and Roman gets squashed like a bug. This shows that Vince is just basically pandering to Brock Lesnar. Guys like Lesnar and Goldberg, and to a lesser extent, The Undertaker, Triple H, what have you. It's no wonder WWE stocks are in a downward spiral because Vince doesn't trust his talent, his full-time talent. He's making the same mistakes that killed WCW. Putting too much of his trust in the old guard. The Hall of Famers, the part-timers, the decrepit guys. And I do not wish I was putting The Undertaker in that category, but damn it, I am. But damn it, I'm left with no choice at this point. Because all these guys and Vince, who is 74 going on 75, I believe. Or is he 70? Yeah, 74. No, 73. He's 73. All at the whim of a senile, mentally deteriorating 73-year-old wrestling mogul. Wrestling media mogul. Because all it seems Vince wants to do to the fans and to his full-time talent is take, and never give. And when he does give, he just takes it right back after a certain stretch. And it's getting annoying. And I mean, one of those true definitions of this, examples of this, the death of Kofi Mania last fall. Everyone remembers what happened then. He finally decides to put the WWE title on a full, pure black man named Kofi Kingston. Was this WWE getting woke? In my eyes, yes and no. Yes, because, well, they had a few world heavyweight champions that were black, namely Mark Henry and Booker T. They never had one hold the big title, the WWE one. And no, because Kofi basically busted his ass for 11 years for Vince, and Vince barely threw him a bone until that night, until WrestleMania, last WrestleMania. Fast forward, nearly 6 months later, what's he do for the premiere episode of SmackDown? He has Kofi get squashed like a bug in 9 seconds. Anyone who remembers my tirade against Vince last May, after he shoehorned Brock in at the last minute to Money in the Bank, where I basically called Vince out as an incompetent, senile dumbass, which he is, I might want to point out he is at this point, who seems to think part-timers are a bigger draw than the full-timers. Newsflash, Vince, they're not! Really got on my case. Many of us were furious that Brock won Money in the Bank. And you know what the sad thing is? In his ineptitude, Vince put a clause in Brock's contract that I don't like with part-time wrestlers. And for those who don't know what this clause is, it's called a no-cut clause. What does a no-cut clause mean? It essentially means that Brock can hold a title for his hostage for as long as he wants without having to defend it on the minor shows, only doing minimum work, and then basically run amok with however he wants, misbehaving, and he won't get sacked for it, and he won't get a pink slip for it. Now, I'm going to send this out to his son-in-law, Paul Levesque, a.k.a. Triple H. The Chief Operations Officer of the WWE. Trips, I'm begging you. Put this stipulation into the match at WrestleMania. between McIntyre and Lesnar. Not only is the WWE title on the line, but so is Brock's contract. And if Brock loses, not only is he no longer the WWE champion, but his no-cut clause is nullified, and he leaves the WWE forever. Never again to come back and torture us with title reigns that are basically equivalent to hostage situations. Because let's face it, this is supposed to be the WWE, not WCW in its dying days. Now, as for Roman against Goldberg, I personally would have, at WrestleMania, I would have preferred Roman against The Fiend. And for those wondering, spoilers. Spoiler, Roman's win, as much as I don't like to say it, Roman's winning in Elimination Chamber March 8th in Philadelphia. To get that title shot. It's pretty much preordained. I would have preferred him going after The Fiend because it gives him a more compelling opponent to deal with. An opponent he can't just Superman punch or spear into oblivion. What Goldberg did yesterday in Saudi Arabia pretty much burns out, just took all the wind out of The Fiend's sails. Now, I've heard rumors they're planning to pit The Fiend against John Cena at Mania to avenge his loss to Cena to the leader of the C Nation 6 years ago. And while I wouldn't have a problem with that, I would still prefer Wyatt against Roman with the Universal title at stake. And let's face it, Cena hardly ever puts a guy over clean. To the best of my knowledge, the only time he's ever truly done that was with Kevin Owens in 2015. And I believe Money in the Bank that year. This just sucks. The road to WrestleMania has taken a dark detour for the WWE. And once again, I said it in May, I'll say it again, Vince. You are an incompetent, senile dumbass when it comes to booking and putting over talent. That is full-time. Full-timers are the ones that make the money, not the part-timers, you old choke of an owner. So Vince, go fuck yourself. Comment on the video, smash the like button with all your strength, subscribe to the channel, Mets2128 signing out. Goodbye, and good effing night. Bang!